Welcome back to Turning the Key to Real Estate. I am your host, Nicholas Fegley. We'll tell you today, everybody, we have not only one, but two special guests. We have a special co-host, Miss Barb Murdaca. How are you today, Barb?
I'm well. It's a fabulous Monday.
Yeah, it's raining here. And then we have Miss Eleni. How are you out there in Arizona, right?
And in Arizona, hi, yes. It's a scorcher today here in Phoenix in the Valley of the Sun. So it's going to be like 90 something. I don't know. After a certain temperature, I don't even look anymore.
You see, I'm not about that life either, though. So how are you? It's been a while since we've had you on the show. How's life?
Good. Everything is fabulous, per usual. I'm excited to see you next week? This week? When am I seeing you? This weekend.
This
weekend. Next weekend.
Yeah.
I don't even know. This weekend.
Yeah, it's this weekend, the 5th. Wait.
Yes.
Yes,
this weekend.
Yes. Okay. So Eleni reached out to me. We were doing just a catch-up Zoom on some stuff, and she was like, "Oh, are you coming down to DC?" And I was like, if it wouldn't be in between the other two sets of meetings, yes. And so she talked to me into coming down Sunday night for dinner and drinks and finally get to actually meet face to face. I mean, we've met multiple times, just not face to face.
I know. Never face to face.
And the good news is DC is really not that far depending on what time you leave. It'll be a quick, easy drive.
Well, I actually made some phone calls to some of my friends that I knew that were going to be down there for the lobby and stuff. And a bunch of them had time open. So I'm going to go down early enough to spend time with some of them in the afternoon and then have dinner with Wise Agent.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I mean, and in this industry, that's what I love about all of these events that the state associations put on, National Association of Realtors puts on, a lot of the brands put on events, because then you get to see one another. And this is a relationship building business. So how fabulous that you get to see people and get to know them, expand your network. I love that. I love that part of what I do.
And now you'll be down there because they do have a trade fair, correct?
Yes. So they have we're going to be exhibiting in the Expo Hall at NAR this weekend. So I believe it starts on Monday, Saturday. The Expo Hall, I believe, is Monday and Tuesday.
Yes.
I believe. Yes.
Now, I know obviously reconnecting with people that you haven't seen in a while, but is Wise Agent are there some new modules or components, that you're going to be launching and saying, hey, look at this cool stuff that we're bringing out?
I'm sorry, Barb, you cut out there for a minute, so I don't know what you asked me.
Oh, I was saying that I know that, obviously reconnecting with those that you do business with, but does Wise Agent have some new features and some new modules that you're sharing at this particular show?
Yes, we are. So we launched back in January of this year. We launched our integration with ChatGPT. And so that's been fabulous. And so we're going to be demonstrating that throughout the expo as well. We have a few new MLSs that we're bringing into the CRM. So then agents are able to get their listings and then use our digital ads, like our Facebook and our Google ads, to promote those listings. Right now, that is like the name of the game is promote. You've got to get out there and either promote the listings that you have, promote yourself, and using, digital ads is a great way of doing that.
So would you say that, yes, Wise Agent is very real estate specific, but I think that it would also be a good place for property management, honestly, anybody really with sales, because I do love your main page, all the integrations that are on the main page. But, you guys do primarily go after real estate agents, correct?
Correct. But we use it internally to run our own business, and we don't sell properties, we sell software. So it can be used by anyone in sales, really.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, for sure. So,
Yeah.
talk to us about your integrations. I know you and I have personally talked about it a couple times because I started using them. Where did the process start with the Facebook, the Google, and how long have you guys been working on that?
Yeah. So, I mean, our Facebook integration started out, oh my goodness, I don't even know what year. I've been here 11 years, so
Oh,
probably
wow.
9, 10 years ago. Facebook, obviously is a prominent software, a prominent application that, millions of people across the world use daily. And so when they started running ads and whatnot, they opened up, I mean, and even before the ads, they had opened up, and I'll go back in history, even though there have been quite a few changes over on Facebook's API. We used to have the integration where you could download your friends list. And so for anyone that was back using Wise Agent back in 2013, 14, may have like a category called Facebook Friends. They have since pulled that API call, so you can't make that API call. That's an unauthorized thing that you can get now. But they do have an API, which stands for Application Program Interface, where basically their server and our servers can talk. And if someone is getting a Facebook lead from an ad that they're running, meaning that you've run an ad and you're using the lead form ad that Facebook has, you can then have that lead come in automatically into Wise Agent. So then you can respond to that lead as soon as they click on submit. That lead would be added either to a drip campaign that you created in Wise Agent. You can respond to it. You can get the notification. All of that stuff happens automatically, which is super powerful in any kind of scenario where you're buying a lead. You want to respond to them as quickly as possible.
Or you could do what I do, which is you create the ad instead of using the Facebook fill-in page, whatever you want to call it, their little survey thing.
The lead form.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I always use my landing pages.
Yeah.
I mean,
that gives you the landing pages. Well, because the landing pages, and I'll say the beauty of that is because then you can leverage, and Nicholas, what you've done has been a fabulous job. What you do is you can leverage Wise Agent's landing page, so then you can capture the exact information that you want to capture, right? So if you want to capture property address and you want to capture date of birth or number of people in the property or whatever it is, some unique aspect of that property or that lead, you can ask those questions, and then you could keep that data. I mean, after all, the information just in general gives you more knowledge, more insight, which will help you with the conversion process.
And then I also like that you can customize once they submit the confirmation page and that's where I typically have the link of like get on the schedule now, and like they can click and just immediately pop themselves on.
Yeah.
You
because
can't
it's
do that
all
with
about
Facebook.
that. Right. It's all about the experience. I mean, what experience do you want them to have? Do you want them to just feel like, oh, okay, fill out this form and some robot is going to reach out to me? You don't want them to feel like there's going to be automation involved. The consumers don't need to know that you're using tools that are going to help you in that way. You should definitely use automation, but they shouldn't sound robotic and canned. They should sound more customized.
Yeah.
So you brought up API. I love that because usually everyone says that's usually to me an indication where, hey, we're willing to work with other applications to make sure that we can make things easy. How are you finding that, especially with your software, that the direction today is about how do we make it more API friendly so that we can collaborate with other softwares? Is that something that you're finding or, people are asking for?
So Wise Agent does have an open API. If anyone wants to, utilize our API, it's a simple request. We do vet them just to make sure that they're, things are all on the up and up. But if somebody wants to request an API access, they certainly can. We are one of the most integrated CRMs in the real estate industry just because, listen, your CRM should be your hub. It should be the place that you go to and you log into every single day. And there shouldn't be a hindrance of like, oh, well, I also have to log into this and I also have to log into that. Like, oh, I have to also log into, my dot loop or into my this or into my ZipForms Plus account or in Skype. Like, you can do all of those things from within Wise Agent. Your contacts start within your CRM. So then once you get to the transaction side of things, it should be really easily done where you say, okay, now start a transaction here, start a loop or start a ZipForms Plus transaction or, through Brokerment or whatever it is. And we have made that pretty seamless within our CRM and not just with on the transaction side, but also with the marketing aspect of things. Videos, we have a great integrated partner with BombBomb, but also with Dub, where, and I just met the co-founder. I had talked to him, I'd Zoomed with him for the last 2-3 years. I'd never met Darius in person. I just met him last week when I was at an event. And so what it is what we do here is we build the relationships with our integrated partners in order to give everyone that's using our CRM a more smooth and seamless process of using one system and the other, using the single sign-on features, using things where, putting in the integration where it makes sense the most. So there's the least amount of data entry. Nobody likes data entry, right? And there's also it makes sense, wherever it is that we're doing that integration. So like with videos, the video integration is on the email contacts page, but it's also on texting. It's also on the lead automation. It's also in our marketing drip campaigns. It's all of those places where you can incorporate whoever it is that we're working with. So it's all seamless.
I also like that. So I'm a little psycho. Barb knows this. We're friends. I also use this in my personal life. So I actually have a drip campaign set up for my family. I have my Christmas card list, whether you're friends, family, or past client, whatever, you're in Wise Agent, because then all I have to do is click a few buttons and it's done.
I love that. Okay, I totally want to see your family drip campaign because it's like, wait a second, I've never thought of putting my family on a drip campaign.
Yep, they're in there. It's sad, but it's true.
I think I talk to my mom and my sister so frequently, they'd be annoyed with me because they'd be like, okay, we already get 100 texts from you a day. Now you're going to add us more. But yeah, I do. But I do love that idea. I'm like, ooh, maybe some extended family that I'm like, I barely ever reach out to. That would be nice to do.
Right?
Yeah, it just doesn't it make just remembering someone's birthday that much easier?
Oh, it is. It's so much easier. Or a reminder about a holiday, or a reminder about, hey, we're all getting together for this. A reminder to buy tickets for the Renaissance Fair.
You had to go there.
Oh, I can get Barb at a drip campaign.
I do, and I love that. I do love using the drip campaigns for reminders of events, because how many times have you been like invited to something and you're looking forward to it and it's on your calendar? And I don't know about you all, but like I have so many things on my calendar that I have turned off all of my notifications on my calendar because I was always being notified. And so a drip campaign is I do that here at work where I have a drip campaign for reminders of things. So then it could just be like, okay, well, you've got this event or that event happening as a text message, because then I read those. Not as frequently as I should, but I still read my text.
It's so true, but it's so true. You need like a dashboard with everything on it. I mean, and I think that that's not just in real estate, but that really is like what Nick said. It really is in every business. How are you managing it? And sometimes we get stuck with kind of like the Office module that we're given, and then you're seeking out other softwares or platforms or apps to manage this or manage that, but they don't talk to each other. It's not in one place. And really, when I went through and taking a look at everything Wise Agent offers, I mean, I just love the transaction management system.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. I mean, talk about managing things. I mean, as a chief operating officer here, I am part of my responsibilities include making sure that everyone, when a new hire comes in, that I've given them access to what it is that they need access to, and I do all the, we do their paperwork and whatnot. And so I have a checklist of things that needs to happen when a new person is added to the team. It sometimes becomes, you think about it and you're like, oh, well, I do it all the time. And I'll always remember to ask them for their birthday or whatever it is. But at least for myself, I find that I like that I'm able to have a checklist where even if I'm out of the office and we have a new hire, somebody else will be, responsible for that piece. And that's never going to be let out of the picture. It doesn't get forgotten by anybody. So there's like a system in place where if I need to unplug myself from something and plug somebody else in, the processes and the steps are all there for them to take over. And that's really, that is one of the key things that you need, especially in the real estate industry. You need to make sure that somebody else can take your place so your transactions are still running smoothly and nothing is being left out of the loop, right?
And that right there just shows the versatility to, that basically is HR compared to real estate. It's so able to be customized down to the smallest task.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just looking at even, I think it was great because you guys wrote kind of like a blog or like information on just Gmail integrating with that. I mean, I always find I talk to agents all the time about you really want to keep all that communication in one location. You can't be bouncing back and forth and looking in archived data. And the fact that you can integrate, Gmail with this so that it's in the CRM, the communication is there and it's trackable. That is, again, another huge time saver.
So now I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've seen the demo Wise Agent, and then I have my Wise Agent, right? On the demo, it's laid out differently. The homepage is laid out differently than mine. Is there a way to customize your homepage?
There absolutely is. You can drag and drop all those different modules. So there's a module for your calendar. Yeah, a module for your commissions. You can take and the default is commissions, calendar, and then your tasks and everything else, and then birthdays and anniversaries, I believe. And so really the commissions are always on top by default because one of our theories here internally is that everyone should know their numbers. You should know, are you on track to meet your goals? Everyone has financial goals, or at least they should have some kind of, number that they're trying to attain throughout the year as far as their sales is concerned. And putting their commission dashboard in the very front page was really a key indicator. But if you want to move that up or down, you can move that down past the calendar. I think mine is. I have my most recent leads up top. That's what I prefer.
I'm dead. I did not know that I could do that. Yes.
Yes.
That's
so
great.
It's completely customizable.
Okay. Awesome. I'm literally doing it while we speak. It's super easy.
Okay. And going back to, it is super easy. It's just drag and drop. And going back to what Barb was saying about the Gmail integration, which I absolutely love because I love being able to save my emails into a contact record and not having to rely on my Gmail to go through and shoot, did I delete that one email that I was really looking for or not? Because then you can save the emails in there. But the other tool that I love that's Google related is we have a Chrome extension that I use obsessively throughout the day. Anytime anyone sends me an email, our domain is Google Workspace, that it will come through, or it'll work also in a Gmail account. You install our Chrome extension, and then you're able to save someone's contact record anytime somebody sends you an email. So some random person sends you an email because they saw, your website, or they saw your ad on Facebook and they're like, I don't want to fill out this form. I'm just going to send them a quick email or asking a question like, how much does 123 Main Street cost, or whatever it is. So you can click of a button, add that person into your Wise Agent account through that Chrome extension. It'll fill out the blanks for you, and it'll also have other things in there that you could fill out. And then you could source it. You could that person, it'll save it, and then you can immediately click on the little eyeball button that will take you to view that contact as soon as it's been created.
That is awesome.
So again, saving you time and money.
Yeah, exactly. And making it easier for when you're trying to, when you're on the go and you sit down in front of your computer, you open that up, it's just 2 clicks and then you can run right back out the door. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm looking at, the teams with the CRM because, it's more and more you talk with so many, and it's even for agents who just want to have that one transaction coordinator. And maybe they're not the true teams that have like 10 people assigned, but it looks like this is extremely scalable, so that you can work together collaboratively as a group, as a team. So that could be like, hey, how do we keep everybody on the same page? Because communication is always the most difficult thing when you're working with the group. When you're in the team approach, some information is going to get dropped somewhere if you don't have something keeping everybody connected together.
Correct. And it's white label.
Absolutely.
They can do white label.
Which is nice.
It can be white labeled, yes. Absolutely. It can be white labeled. I mean, anytime that you're, we're a software company at heart. Anything that, and I talk to people like Nicholas and, I've got a lot of friends in the industry, and the reason why I travel so much is because what I'm doing is when I'm going out to these, trade shows or these expos or conferences, or when I'm speaking with people, is my job is to learn what are the brokers and the agents' pain points, and then come back to the office, solve those pain points through our software, and then, give it back to them in a way where it is a meaningful and productive way of them using their resource, like their CRM, in order to run their business smoothly. That's what I do. I just solve people's problems.
And somebody needs to. Right? I mean, it's just like people will talk about it, like, I wish it would do this. And then but it's having somebody that's listening, to those and saying, and then, but I always find when I work with what I call the people I work closely with, I always try to provide that feedback because they're like, wow, we never thought of that. Or that's a really great idea. And it might take some time to develop, but it really is the feedback that you get to help really make your software more robust.
Exactly. So, it does.
What do you think we can see in the next, let's say, year, 5 years, and 10 years from Wise Agent?
Okay. Well, within the next year, we're going to have, we were talking about transaction management, we're going to have triggers. We're basically some automation within our checklist. So when you're creating a checklist for, listing a new property, well, you've got, 150 tasks that you need to do with this property when you're listing it, right? You got to order the lockbox, and what the steps that you have to do in order to, for the lockbox to be ordered. Yes, somebody actually has to call to, or set it up and physically go do that. But it also requires letting your seller know that that's going to be installed at their front door, or wherever. And so you can have a trigger to say, okay, we are about to do this. And then you can say, send out this email or this text message to the clients, letting them know that a lockbox is going to be installed on whatever date. And so then you can have that all built in. So when you're going through and you're creating these checklist templates, there's going to be automation where you would be able to add onto it and just make everything go a lot faster and smoothly.
I love that.
That's a great feature.
Yeah.
So that's one big thing. Some other things. So we're going to get more with we're going to add more MLSs to our Wise Agent accounts in order for our brokers and our agents to access their listings and use those listings. So that, again, no data entry. We want to get away from like manual data entry. So then people can use the MLS integration in order to market those listings. So that will be coming. We're working on several as we speak. As far as like 5 and 10 years, I mean, that's kind of a hard one to answer just because, it depends
Technology.
on what's happening with the technology. I mean, if we're going to be like the Jetsons and like, we're going to have, I don't know. I mean, who would have thought, we'd have something like ChatGPT right now. So it really just depends on the technology that's available to us. One thing I will say is that we do have our pulse, our hands on that pulse, where we're always monitoring what's happening in technology. So, affiliated with Amazon Web Services, so we do leverage their services. We have a great relationship with them. Not that I talk to Andy Jassy or Jeff Bezos every day, but or ever. But I would love to speak to, and I do love Andy Jassy, but or Werner, their CTO. I absolutely love him. We do attend their summits and a lot of their conferences. I'm attending something later on this week for them. There's a lot of technology that happens on the back end that we don't always show on the front end of things because, I don't know, it doesn't really, it's not really real estate related that I'm, meeting up with some people from Amazon Web Services, but we do try to keep that on the forefront of that as well.
Okay. So if you had one project that you could complete tomorrow for Wise Agent, what would that be?
Ooh, great question. And you can tell because I'm like, ooh, I did not get this question beforehand or any of these questions. So I'm like, I gotta use my words wisely here. What would I do? I definitely, if I could just have a magic wand and say we have all of the MLSs within Wise Agent for all of the listings, and that's done tomorrow, that would be fantastic.
Yes, I would agree.
I'm not a fan of data entry. A lot of people that watch, my webinar podcast series see my long nails. I'm not a typer. I try not to type if I don't have to.
Not
and
only that,
so
it's time consuming.
It is. It is.
It is. It's time consuming. I mean, and no one wants to. I mean, we're just too busy of an industry to just sit there and have to type things. So that would be my biggest thing. Is that would be amazing if we could have all the MLSs done.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us again. I know we had you on our first season and wanted to bring you back because I know that there were a lot going on and changes happening. So I always appreciate you taking some time out of your day to sit and chat with us.
Thank you. Well, I always appreciate it. I always appreciate you and always looking forward to our conversations because I get to learn what you're doing and what you need help from, and we provide that to everyone that's using Wise Agent. So you're one of my problem solvers. So thank you.
Typically, I'm a problem causer, so that's nice to hear.
Sometimes I can see that. I can see that.
Well, I know what's going to happen. There's going to be an ad later online that says, having problems with your family, set up a drip campaign.
Don't want to talk to the in-laws? Send them a drip campaign text.
Make them think it's coming from you. Oh.
Right. Oh,
well, I will see you on Sunday. You guys have a safe flight out here, and thanks for taking the time again.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Safe travels to DC. I'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for having me.
And have an awesome show.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Well,
Bye-bye.
as always, this was Turning the Key to Real Estate. I am your host, Nicholas Fegley.
And Barb Murdaka.
Have a great one. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe.